Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, DA Harris, to all the law enforcement partners that are here, to Director Ryan, working in partnership with you and your staff at MOCJ. We are rolling out a number of initiatives because all of us here in this room, officers in the department, officers from the various agencies here, as well as the community, we are tired of the violence. People who respond to these cases, people who prosecute these cases, all of us are human beings. We know people in the community. Ms. Hewitt, we work so closely with the community-based organizations. We are all tired of the pain and the suffering that has been caused in this city. It is not acceptable, and we can all do more to stop the violence, not only in terms of removing guns from our streets, but also in terms of working together to identify those who have taken the loved ones from our community. And today, what we are discussing are steps that the San Francisco Police Department will do to enhance the many efforts that are already in place and the hard work of the officers that has already been going on in the city. We talk about the community and the importance of the community's involvement. The community is key in preventing crimes from occurring. If they see something and they call, there's a possibility something will not occur. If they don't call, there's a possibility that something will happen, and then you will see a law enforcement response after the fact. We need the community's help in removing the guns. The officers of this department on an annual basis remove over 1,200 guns off of the streets. You will see here pictures of some of these handguns. We hear of Uzis, AK-47s. These are not weapons that belong on the streets of our city. They don't belong anywhere. But in our communities, being used to take the lives of our young people, that's totally unacceptable. And so this first program that we are putting in place truly relies on the commitment of the community to step forward and say, we have had enough, and we will work in partnership with our law enforcement agencies and our city family. This program is called Operation Gun Stop, and it's a program that the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice and the Police Department have been working together. It's based on the New York City Police Department Operation Gun Stop, which was started in 2001 in New York. From 2001 to 2005, they were able to recover over 1,000 firearms based on this program and arrest over 1,600 people who were involved with the possession of firearms. So how does this work? This doesn't require someone to come forward and flag an officer down. This requires a member of the public, any person, to say, I know of information and I'm going to call an anonymous tip line. So for instance, if you are a person who knows of the whereabouts of an illegal assault weapon, we encourage you to call 575-4444. This is the same confidential tip number that we've been using in San Francisco for a number of years. When you call that line, someone will take all the information down, and we will have members of the department go out to secure that firearm, that illegal assault weapon. Once that has been completed, you will be eligible for a $500 reward for providing that information so that we could take that assault weapon off of the streets so that it cannot be used to harm anyone in our community. If a member in the community is aware of someone who illegally is possessing a firearm because it's concealed on that person in public, which is against the law, or they know that person to be an individual who is prohibited from carrying a firearm, again, you as a member of the community, we need you to call 575-4444, and once you provide that information to us and our officers respond out to obtain that firearm, to recover it, and to make that arrest, then you will be eligible for a $1,000 reward. Again, It's very important to know this is a confidential tip line. We will not ask for the person's name, and in the process of receiving the reward, there is actually a process in place so that we don't even see. You don't come to the city, you don't come to the police department, you don't come to the mayor's office, the DA's office. You're going to a third party, and you will get the money, and that's the end of that. But most importantly is that you have done something to protect everyone in the community by helping law enforcement remove these illegal assault weapons and weapons from people who should not be carrying firearms in our communities. So we're very grateful to the New York Police Department for their guidance and assistance in this, and we have money set aside. This number is up and running now, and so we hope that we can report to you that we have received a number of calls. We know the guns are out there, and what we need now is the community to step up and help us take these guns off the street. We will remove them, but we need the community. And we are confident that, based on this program and the others that we will speak of today, that we will, in San Francisco, recover several hundred more, at minimum, firearms from our city streets. And we're anticipating many, but I'm very confident with the hard work of the officers, all the members here out in the field, with the partnership of our different law enforcement agencies, and most importantly, the community, we will be very, very successful. The second program that we are announcing today is a program that we have had in place for a number of years. This is a program that's called the Fugitive Recovery Enforcement Team, short for FRET, long for FRET. We have officers assigned to this unit. We have currently 2 teams. We will be doubling the teams of officers assigned to this unit, and they will be working in concert with not only each other, but the FRET team has been working side by side on a daily basis with adult probation as well as state parole. The mission of the FRET teams is to go after parolees at large who we know are involved in violent crime, or are on parole for violent crime, or probation for violent crime, and who are not abiding by the conditions of their probation or parole. These officers are not out there on their own. They're working hand in hand, but also they're working with our district stations. We have bi-weekly FRET operations in all of our district stations, and with the additional resources, that will put more officers out looking for the parolees at large, but also those who are in possession of firearms as well as involved in violent crime. An example of a most recent FRET and partnership with the U.S. Marshals was during the week of June the 9th to June the 13th. There was an Operation Falcon program in San Francisco, and this is something that the U.S. Marshals do throughout this country. And just in that 1 week period, these teams were able to take 42 people into custody, and these are 42 serious offenders who have a track record in crime as well as are out there continuing to commit these heinous acts of violence. So with this program, we're adding additional teams to bolster the number of officers that will be able to be out there focusing even more specifically on firearms. These teams also work with the Investigations Bureau to ensure that if there is a case and there's a need to do extended work, not only in San Francisco, but throughout the Bay Area or sometimes in other parts of the country, that we have those partnerships to support those prosecutions and those cases being brought to the DA or to the federal level for prosecution.